Hey guys, sorry, there's some locking going on with my device. Orientation is locked. Rotate device back.
Just put it that way.
Yeah, but then that's no good.
Go. Can you go all the way the other way?
Sorry, everyone. Sorry. It doesn't go that way.
So,
The phone's gonna slip out. Sorry, everyone. You can just put that there to stop it sliding.
good grief.
Yeah.
It's not going to slide.
It does.
It's not going to slide.
Okay, alright. Screen is very narrow, but you can see us though, right? Is this okay? Sorry, you think we wouldn't have done this before?
I'm going to put a shirt on.
Riley's just got to put a shirt on. He wasn't expecting the camera angle to go that low. Hey guys, how is everyone? We've got 71 of you here.
Whoa.
We are just in Malaysia at the moment on the new boat. Have you guys seen a lot of shots from the inside? Honestly, every time we step foot in this boat, we are so happy to be in this space. We haven't finished decorating yet, so we haven't done a boat tour for you guys yet. Sorry, I'm just reading. Both of you are missing your outside shoulders. That's how narrow. I mean, hang on. Let me just see.
I don't want to spend 10 minutes setting this up now. It's just going to have to be a narrow-shouldered affair.
Yeah, sorry guys, you can't see our left or right shoulders. I hope that's okay. Alright, sweet. You guys are saying it's fine.
Okay.
Alright, Riley's got a shirt on and pants. Now we're ready to go. You want a sneaky preview tour? You know what? I will actually take a video on my iPhone and post it for you guys. Just after we finish the live stream. I haven't wanted to yet because I'm not done. Like the photo frames aren't up and some like finishing touches, but I will do that for you, okay? Because I know a lot of you are dying to see.
Why don't we just walk around with the camera now and show everyone?
I mean, there's an egg on the table. There's cans of tuna. I want it to be nice.
Well, outside's perfect.
Yeah, outside is perfect. So, yeah, since we left Vietnam, we've come to Malaysia and we wanted to tell you guys about the shakedown cruise that we did. Do you want to start?
What are the questions here?
I mean, we have so many questions, but do you want to just give everyone a little update on what's happened, or you want to do that later?
No? Okay, so we left Nha Trang. So this will all be in next week's video. We got absolutely smashed by 44 knots, then 50 knots. We blew up a staysail.
And that staysail is meant to
engines.
stay. That staysail is not meant to blow up. Like, it, yeah. We had to pick a day to leave Vietnam because they're so strict and we had to stick to it, which is why we got the weather that we did. We would never have left in that weather. So, yeah, everything that could have gone wrong on a shakedown cruise went wrong, and we really can't wait to show you that episode. But yeah, you were saying,
when I spoke to Doyle Sales and I was like, hey, we need a new staysail, they were like, holy shit, is everyone on board okay? Because that's the smaller one that's supposed to be not industry. Anyway, there was user error and we blew up a very strong, very small sail, which was not a disaster, but it was like pretty freaky for everyone.
It was pretty freaky, pretty dangerous.
Elena's hatch was leaking, Darwin spewed on the bed.
Yeah, both our kids had a fever on the crossing. It took 4 days to get to Malaysia.
Darwin had conjunctivitis.
He couldn't open his eyes. A few of you are asking about the kids now. They're just with Melly. We got Melly to come over so we could fix all the things on the boat.
This is all normal. Like, there's nothing that happened that I was super surprised about. Actually, the reefing is a bit difficult, which I was surprised about. I thought that... I'm talking to you guys, so I can just say what I think. I'm surprised that M&M didn't have a better setup. I think that they were thinking about a race boat. But I said to them that I need to be able to single hand the boat. And we've got these reef hooks. I don't know, I might start to get a little bit technical, but I'll explain that in not next week's episode, but maybe the one after, or maybe the one after that. But the reefing is difficult, which for those of you who aren't sailors is kind of like rolling or driving downhill without brakes. It's like you need to be able to reef the boat. So we could have put the whole sail down. But in general, the boat handled it like an absolute beast.
Yeah.
There was a point in time when I had 44 knots from directly behind. Well, I had 44 knots, so I went dead downwind. We put the head sail away, and I had the autopilot on performance level 5, and I took the apparent wind from like 140 to 150 to 160 to 170, and the autopilot just nailed it. Like, it was doing, again, like the Atlantic crossing, a better job than I could. And with 2 reefs in the main, which is still probably a little bit too much sail for 44 knots, we were just bombing downwind, surfing at 17 knots. This is at 2 a.m. I'd just come on shift. There was lightning everywhere, and I was just really happy with how the boat handled.
Oh, we're so impressed with the performance of this boat. But yeah, the reefing system is quite difficult, and and everything's kind of broken right now. So yeah, we're in this marina getting things fixed. Like, we're gonna have to get our engine, our diesel engine, lifted out of this boat and completely replaced.
Yeah.
More details coming soon, but...
Which again is, it's like Rapido are like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, that's pretty, you know, they weren't stoked with that. But for me, I'm concerned about the structure of the boat. It was very strong, very stable.
Oh, so stable. In this weather, can I just say, in this weather, we had cups and bowls and plates in the galley.
Yeah.
Didn't have to put anything away.
Yeah.
Steaming along at, you know, sometimes 15 knots. We got way faster than that. So in terms of stability, I'm so much happier on this boat than even the Cat. I mean, you could also leave a cup in the Cat.
No.
Yeah.
No. This is
pretty
this
damn
is
happy.
a third again wider, and I don't know, maybe a third again longer. The footprint on the ocean is just so much more bigger. It's just infinitely more stable.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So from here, yeah, so we're just...
Babe, this is way more stable than the Cat.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
I promise you.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I think, but I'm just like, I thought it was going to be a bit more...
That when we had 3 meter waves, we were, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but...
No. Oh, so happy. And from here we're going up to the Philippines, but it's going to be a couple of weeks till we can fix everything. And I'm still reading your questions.
It's
again,
hot here, guys.
Robert's
I'm
asking
sweating.
about the Yanmar engine.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just honestly, it was an install problem. So we have to pull it out, and it needs to be rebuilt. So it's not the Yanmar people's fault. It was the Rapido install. So they made a mistake, and honestly, it's going to be a warranty thing. We needed to get a whole bunch of stuff done here anyway, so it's not taking us any extra time or money. So it's a bit like they're embarrassed about it, but I don't. It's not that I don't care, but I'm just like, of all of the mistakes that they could make, that's one that we can pull off the boat, fix, put it back in, and it'll be brand new. Yeah. So it's not like that is slipping.
Yeah, it's slipping down.
Just as you said.
Just be careful, don't lock the screen.
How would I lock the screen?
If I go like, sorry, like that.
Now I can't drink out of my drink
You
bottle.
can share my drink. We've used the drink bottle to stop the phone slipping.
And it's
Oh God.
I'm so sorry that the horizon isn't level.
You know how much Riley hates a crooked screen.
No, but I think everyone would.
Just don't think about it.
Is it off-putting?
It's okay.
I think we can change it.
Well, anyway, I'm going to start getting through the questions that you guys left us on Patreon. So this one's from Brandon, who I've seen in the chat a lot this morning. What up, Brandon? Also, how do you deal with communication hurdles when you seem to be on different wavelengths for days or more at a time? So we, the Starlink actually got us from Vietnam to Malaysia. It didn't drop out at all. And that was in the South China Sea. So, and we've heard the Philippines has even better range because they were one of the first to accept Starlink. So, I mean, no problems so far. Strangely, we have actually a bit of problem. Like, it drops out here in Malaysia sometimes. Or it's just really slow, but I think it's from the cloud cover. So that's our only form of, like, communication when we're out at sea.
It's level, John. Thanks, mate.
We don't have... oh, I meant with each other. Oh, what? Communication hurdles when you seem to be in different wavelengths for days or more at a time. Do we have communication hurdles?
Well, men are from Mars, Elena.
Yeah, has everyone read that book?
Women are from Venus. Men
are from Mars, women are from Venus is the name of the book that everyone has to read.
Brandon, I disagree with the premise of the question. I don't think that we're necessarily on different wavelengths for days at a time.
Nah.
It could potentially be that we're on different wavelengths briefly. How do we deal with communication hurdles? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. The thing that you've got to do is communicate. So
we literally just voice everything that we're feeling when we feel it, and we try and do it without any emotion behind it. So
well, recently I've started. Oh, I feel like I'm interrupting you.
No, you go.
Sorry.
I love that you're talking about this.
Recently, we've started, or I think that I've started saying like, okay, this isn't going well. I'm going to have a break for a bit. I'm going to walk off. And we both hate that at the time or don't love it because someone's walking away from a situation, but then we can both calm down a bit.
Yeah.
And it could be like a small thing. Or it could be a big thing,
or just tension.
Like us organising the will.
Yeah, we recently decided
who's going to look after our kids if we die. So, you know, Elena's got
my preference.
Some ideas, and I've got other ideas, and trying to align on that it's our kids' lives, you know. So
it was
it's a
hard.
massive thing.
Yeah, and it was a difficult conversation, and I was maybe pressing the subject, and then Riley was like, oh, I just like, let's go away and then come back, which was really good.
I had to do it a couple of times.
Things, yeah, if you just don't let things escalate and then come back later when you're feeling more, I don't know.
It feels rude at the time, but it's the emotionally intelligent thing to do.
And that's probably the worst of it, yeah. Like, that's probably where we fall down a lot. It's just like letting things escalate a little bit too much. But now, yeah, we're getting better at stopping it in its tracks. Okay, so still no microwave. What about the Barbie off the back? That's from Wade Smith. We do want to get a little, what is it called? Webasto? No, Webasto's the heater we used to have. What are the things at the back?
I think, it's a Wallace oven. The thing off the back is
What's the brand?
What are a Weber-Q?
Yeah, we really want a Weber-Q. Right now, I do. We wanted it on the last boat. Or maybe it's just me that wants it. And
why? Then we've got 3 things that can cook. We've got 2 things that can cook already.
No, you're right.
We don't need 3.
And it's probably messy. I mean, it probably spit oil everywhere back there.
Less is more, Wade.
Yeah, no microwave. We've got an oven though, and an amazing stovetop, which is what do you call it?
Electric induction.
Induction, and it just cooks and boils water so quick. Like, we can boil water for a coffee in a minute. It's a less. That's not that impressive, is it? It's really fast. It feels really fast.
Luke nearly missed his train because he was watching us. Just be careful, mate. Entering and exiting trains whilst watching live streams. You know what we were gonna do? There's a picture of Darwin with his little bum hanging out, doing a wee off the side of the boat, and we we're gonna post that and say live stream.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny.
I wish we could.
thought-
How do you guys feel about children's bums online? It's our children, so I guess your opinions, it only counts what we think. But yeah, I wish I want to post photos of their cute little bums, but I know that people do awful things with the photos, so we don't really. But it's so cute, and I'm so torn. This one's from Lariana. Have you guys ever felt completely lost or aimless in life, not having a clue what to do or where to go next? Sometimes I feel stuck and the possibilities seem endless, but actually doing them is overwhelming / scary. Would love to hear your thoughts. I would say, in life, yeah, before this whole thing came about with YouTube and the boat, I was just traveling and lost for sure, or just trying to find what I liked. So that's totally normal. I think it's ridiculous that in school you're expected to know what you want to do when you grow up, and you need to prepare for that, because I don't think you really know who you are. I think every year I get older, I'm like, oh, I didn't know a thing last year. So I think it's just ridiculous at that age, when you're really young, to know what you want to do. I think you should get out there and explore and make mistakes, and things just fall into place.
I think that reminds me of something where in the modern age we have a lot of options. So Lariana, I think that you should take a minute, and like Elena and I as well, the fact that you've got endless possibilities, or what seems like endless possibilities, is probably a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, I've heard people talk about on how there's content these days, there's almost limitless pieces of content that you could consume, and you can get lost or paralyzed by that, and that's a problem with the modern age. And it sounds like your life is kind of like that, and we feel like that as well. We could sail here, or we could sail there, or we could build a house in Bali and change things up completely and stop sailing, or we could get a big yellow carbon trimaran, or we could, with what we're doing, it does feel like there are as many ideas out there as things that we could actually do, whether it would be successful or it would make our lives 5% better or 100% better. I'm not sure, but the fact that we're not
stuck,
unfortunate starving child in Africa is a really good place to launch your philosophy about that from.
Yeah.
I guess is one thing that we try to remember.
Try and figure out where your passion is and what doesn't feel like work to you, and then try and make that a job. And online jobs are a really good option these days too. If you can go steer in that direction, then you're so free, you don't have to be tied down to a place. So this one is from, do you want to read out some, or are you happy for me to keep reading?
I have 2 degrees and my profession has nothing to do with either. Lol. Go be weird and explore. Yeah, I love that.
And Luke's saying,
I'm sorry I've got a croak in my... We're still a little bit sick.
Yeah, we all caught what the kids had. And after posting on Instagram my symptoms, everyone said it was COVID. The brain fog and ear infections, and it was nuts. We couldn't get out of bed for a week. It was so bad. So this one's from Susan Booker. I was recently looking at your passage with Greta Thunberg. What an amazing opportunity to support and spend time with the person who has the potential to change the world. Would love to know if you're still in touch and what your thoughts are on Greta and that experience. Even when we were with Greta and her dad, they're not people that just sit online and chat. They are so busy, and their lives are just next level. The stuff that they're dealing with.
At the time, she was, I think, the most famous person in the world.
Yeah. When Trump was tweeting about her, that phase.
Obama was trying to hang out with her. She was too busy. There was some proper stately dignitaries from all over the globe, UN officials, like
Everyone
everyone was trying
crazy
to.
insight.
I don't think like it's not like that for her. I mean, it would be, but not to the extent that it was then. She was absolutely
And there were
on
huge
fire.
security issues, like
Yeah.
her and her dad got cornered in America, and like it was scary they had to call the police. Like they are high stress situation. So I think it was really good. Like we could see that they like their nervous system was so calmed when we went out to sea and crossed an ocean, which is so funny, right? Like we're in the middle of a terrifying ocean, and they
Mine certainly
were
wasn't.
just switched on. Yeah, Riley was stressed as heck, but
Nikki actually sent Elena and I a message probably 10 or 12 days ago saying that, you know, she's in Portugal and it reminds her of us, of me and Elena, and like what an incredible trip. And she said that might actually be her greatest adventure that she's ever been on as well.
and Nikki Henderson has done some wild ocean crossings.
Yeah, she was the youngest skipper ever on the Clipper around the world, so...
We're still very much so in touch with Nikki. And, you know, Greta sent us a message when it was Lenny's birthday. It's Lenny's birthday coming up again, so maybe she'll send another one. But, yeah, no, we don't really stay in touch these days.
I just wanted to... I didn't want to be another person messaging her.
They've got enough.
It's probably
going
more
on.
important that she replies to Obama than us.
Yeah, but
we just left her alone.
really lovely, interesting family, and we learnt a lot from them. And it was, yeah, again, still something that we'll look back on for the rest of our lives. And there's a page in Lenny's book that is being published on the 5th of December that is about the North Atlantic crossing, and it's got a girl with pigtails, which is Greta. It's a really beautiful bit of artwork. Every time I read that book, First Mate Lenny, I literally get teary. It's such a beautiful book.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for you guys in the US. It's not available for you guys until next year. But everyone in Australia, you can pre-order First Mate Lenny, and it'll be sent out to you on the 5th of December. It'll get to you before Christmas. So that's exciting. And we're going to be in Fremantle as well. For those who are in Perth, come and see us at the bookstore on Saturday the 9th at 10 a.m. We're going to be there signing books and doing a meet and greet for as long as, we'll meet as many of you as we can.
Nisi, I remember that, Riley, you had to navigate some rough waters and kept it from Elena at first, didn't you? Yes, there was horrendous weather all around us, and I just had to keep putting the boat in the best place possible, and all around us was disaster.
He did such a good job of hiding all of this from me. Like, he wouldn't let me look at the weather, not that I really demanded it, I just trusted that he had his shit sorted, and he was hiding some pretty crazy things from me. I'm so glad you did. I would have freaked the hell out. Yeah.
Derek Gould. I didn't see a bench seat to sit on while at the helm or to stop a person at the helm from falling off. The back deck overall seems rather open. Is that a design choice or for another reason? I wanted to, it's hard to explain, mate, but I wanted to have the back deck just completely clean. So I actually wanted a swinging helm where you could just be holding onto the helm, and that was the thing. We
didn't even want the roof that connects to the helm.
We
just
I
wanted
that
a helm
shortened so that you could go forwards to operate and then come back to the helm. In hindsight, it's actually a bit more jumpy up there. It's higher than I'm used to, which means that you're rocking and bouncing a little bit more. So I'm just starting to think about that now. We've just done a 600-mile crossing, so I'm learning more about it. To retrofit a little bum post probably wouldn't be too difficult. It's something that I'm considering, but for the next 6 to 12 months, I'm going to try to not put us in rough weather anyway, and we're not going to be doing any sort of huge passages, so we can learn the boat, the kids can become comfortable and familiar with it, and so can Elena, and we can do a lot of drills and just learning the boat, because she's very, very powerful. And then if I had the boat set up correctly, as a cruiser, I do 99.999% of my sailing on autopilot. So having a big enclosed helm station, I've always thought is just a waste. It's extra weight, especially there, it looks ugly.
Yeah, it's big and boxy, and yeah, you are on autopilot a lot of the time. So we just thought, let's keep it to a minimum.
That's the current thinking.
Yeah. This is from...
But I'm starting to think that I need to think about it.
So yeah, Mark just asked about the boat choices, and if there's anything we'd change already, but I feel like you just addressed.
Pardon?
Mark's just asking about our boat choices and if there's anything we would change so far.
The reef hooks.
Yeah, the reefing system, and you would add a little seat by the helm, you were saying.
I'm thinking about it.
Thinking about it. But other than that, I mean, if you want to talk interior, because I love that. No, oh my gosh, we're so freaking happy. I'm so
really
happy.
Are. We legit 3 times a day just go, holy shit, it is beautiful in here.
And please forgive me for saying, but like, our boat has become the boat that people stop and stare at in a marina, and it feels so weird. Like,
are you surprised? It's a big yellow trimaran.
Yeah. No, I mean, yes, I am surprised. Like,
it feels weird.
It feels surreal. Like, it's my boat, and people are stopping and staring at it. And then I step off the boat, and I swear people look at me and they're like, she must be crew, or like, this can't be her boat.
Because we used to do that. I'd walk up and I'm like, why is your mast black? And they're like, oh, that's a carbon mast. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And they're like, it rotates. And I'm like, oh, tell me about that.
Yeah, we had a whole boat full of Russians on this wild contraption. They were just fascinated with the boat. And then another guy who stood here for like half an hour. We should have probably invited him on, but like...
He was also Russian.
Yeah, Russians love our boat for some reason. So this is from Zeke. A long time ago... Oh, hang on, sorry. Have you come up with what you think is a safe level of seafood per week? I have no idea. I just know when I was pregnant, I would limit myself to 1 lobster every 2 weeks, and it was so sad because the boys were getting the best Caribbean, like Bahamian crayfish. That was a sad time. We haven't been fishing in a while, in a long time, hey?
Yeah, I think when we're on land, I'm not eating too much fish. I'm eating it when I'm catching it. So I haven't thought about it in a while.
What do you guys think about seafood consumption these days? What's a good amount to eat? You want to answer a question from there while I find another?
What are the spearfishing rules in Asia? What I think, Anna, is that there are laws, so technically we need to go, and we will probably jump through all of the correct hoops, but I think that you could just go and do it and it's not police, so there's like laws that are there for no real reason. But anyway, we'll go to so in Malaysia we need to go somewhere and fill out a form, of course, and pay some money, of course, and then we have a piece of paper that no one will ever check, and then we can go spearfishing.
This one's from Betsy. How are the children adapting to the new boat layout? Are there additional safety features to be added, like you did with sailing La Vagabonde? Oh, sorry, with La Vagabonde the second. The cockpit is so deep that it would take our boat to flip for the kids to actually fall out. Like, it's a deep cockpit, so the kids are super safe out there. And if they do go out there when we're underway, someone's always with them and they have their life jackets on, obviously. But
they don't need life jackets on in that cockpit area. Let's go outside. Let's go and have a look. Can you grab that?
Okay.
Sorry, I know you weren't stoked on doing that, but
it's just the phone is slipping. All right.
You can take it out of this little place. Because I think people have rightly pointed out that there's no lifelines, but just to sort of explain, like, this area here is, I'm not going to say the word, quite large, right? So you can probably sit 1, 2, 3, you can sit 4 people there easily, and then 4 on that side. So when the kids, if it's as it gets rougher and rougher and rougher, the kids are less likely to move around. So if it's really rough, they're not here anyway. They're going to be on the bed, that's going to be lowered down, and they're going to be sitting there looking at their iPad or just cuddling their mum. That's when it's super rough. And when it's calm, yeah, they're gonna come out here, but obviously it's incrementally less likely that they would get thrown around somewhere. And so we don't let them, I'm not even going to let them over here because this is an electric winch, right? I think that's more dangerous. That presents a more likely danger that would still be really bad than the likelihood of them going overboard.
Yeah, if they touch those buttons there, something really bad could happen.
Yeah, Darwin could be like this, and it's off at the moment, so they're not even allowed sort of there. They can sit here. I'll sit up here if we're heeled this way, and like I'll hold one of them. But it's just,
it's good. It's a good area.
You would need to, like Lenny would need to stand up and fall over, and then get up and fall over again, and then one more time to go overboard. Like
it's so far.
It's just so
like,
far to go.
Look at that. Yeah.
So, yeah, as it gets really rough, they're just very unlikely to go out there, which is when something like really bouncy or really wavy would knock them around. So
sitting down again, guys.
You don't like those excursions, do you? That was fun.
And I mean, there's a staircase just down here to the main cabin, but it's, even if they fell down that, there's carpet at the bottom. And
So much
Darwin
room
is
for
so
activities.
nimble now, like, he's 2.5.
Darwin?
Can we just talk about
Darwin's
Darwin and
clumsy.
Lenny?
But
Darwin,
Darwin's
oh yeah,
clumsy.
he actually is, yeah. He's definitely clumsy.
He's
Lenny is
mobile.
nimble.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Lenny is nimble, he's a little monkey. Oh, we should give Darwin some credit, he's not so bad. He can
He's a
do
bit of
some
a cook.
he really pushes his limits, and that's why he gets hurt. He's trying to jump from the bed to the bench, and oh my gosh, anything.
Lenny will climb up something really smoothly and just materialise at the top of some rocks that he's climbing or some rope or whatever, and Darwin will go there and like bang his knee and fall over and knock his head and come up and he's bleeding and he's just a disaster.
Seriously.
He's such a tank as well. He's just he's a brute.
Holly,
Yeah, he's trying to catch up to Lenny, exactly.
I've always thought it would be awesome to see more of a spotlight on Elena getting to be the capable kick-ass captain every now and again. I really loved in that last episode you saw when I was the captain, because Riley and Darwin had to fly to camp, where do you go? Bangkok and back to reset their visas. And I really loved it. But when we are working as a team, Riley always has been the captain. And, you know, he makes the decisions with the weather and where we sail. And I'm kind of just your little sidekick, right? Like, I help you make the sail changes, and I do helm in and out of marinas and anchor.
Elena, you are not my little sidekick.
Thanks, babe. Well, ultimately, it's you. I mean, being the captain and having the final say, that's huge. And I haven't taken that role. Like, yeah. So that would be different if...
Elena's missed out on a lot over the last probably 3 years, I'd say, with the kids. So I think, you know, it's quite natural. It would be really cool if I just looked after the kids and Elena just sailed. That would be like something fantastic that we would do.
Yeah.
That would be nice to do, but I'm just naturally drawn to that. So
Yeah.
that's sort of what I do, but...
And in the past, when I did have anxiety and stress really bad, which has literally disappeared since I had burnout, like, that was another question from you guys, just how are you going with all of that? And the answer is just better than ever. Like, something just biologically changed in me since burnout. It was like the final straw, and I no longer get worked up at all. It's just completely disappeared. It's honestly a bloody miracle.
It's been good to see.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, in the past, I would never have wanted that role of being captain and having the final say. It was too much stress for me. But now that's something that I would be interested in, because I'm a lot more chill now.
But I just wanted to finish
Sorry.
the thread that I was pulling on earlier. When Elena is so on the old boat. Oh God. Sorry guys. On the old boat, when there was a squall coming, there is literally no one else on planet Earth that I would want at the helm, because she just nailed. I'd be like, we just knew each other so well, and so she would turn around into the wind
straight away,
nail it, and I'd be at the head of the mast here and pulling down and doing all my stuff, and she'd know when I'd cocked something up or when I hadn't, and I'd know. Well, I knew that she wasn't going to make the mistake, and yeah, I mean,
fruit net fell down. I will have to adjust that. My fruit net. I have to super glue some shit later.
Designing. We've had a disaster sticking stuff up around the place.
I found a technique now. I'll tell you about in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, I've sailed with a lot of different people now, and Elena, if there's a squall coming and she knows the boat well, there's no one else that I would prefer at the helm.
Because I want to get that shit down straight away. I got to keep my family safe. And yeah, him and I have worked together for so long that we don't really need to talk. And it's like a look, or it's a routine. I don't know. We just know. That was on the old boat. We know the order and everything. So it'll be so nice to get that nailed on this boat.
Yeah.
So that we're in tune with each other. And
that's why the reefing is sort of irking me a bit.
Yeah.
But it's a bit annoying not being able to reef the boat as quickly and like we should at the moment. But just being conservative, you can just drop the whole main if you need to. So we're not going to get stuck in a very dangerous situation.
Unspoken awareness, Patricia. Yeah. This one's from Eric. Are you worried that the boat is so complex that Riley will spend too much time focused on the boat and not enough time focused on you and the kids? And someone said, whoa, that's deep.
Nah.
No, not at all. Oh my gosh.
I don't think we're worried about that.
No, we just can't. So we're going to have a training day coming up. So on the shakedown cruise, we didn't have crew on board, which meant I was looking after my sick kids the entire time, and Riley was out there sailing. So we didn't get a chance to work together with the sails or anything. So we're going to have a training day in the next few days where we leave the kids ashore and me and Riley just go out. Or with Forrest, our friend Forrest is here too, who you guys have seen in past episodes. So we're just going to go and iron out some of the kinks and get that routine started between us.
Yeah, Paul said, can anything be done to improve the reefing? Yes, we're working with some people now. I won't go into details, but I will in a video. But yeah, I might change the aft to normal-ish slab reefing and then go down and hook the reefing hook in if and when it's set. I just want to be able to nail it if there's a big squall coming. How's the film camera going? Are you all sailing to Japan?
Japan, yeah. So we definitely still want to go to Japan, but the time to go is actually now if we wanted to go this year.
Yep.
But we're not ready and we haven't even seen the Philippines. So we're going to spend some time in the Philippines and we might make the crossing this time next year. That's kind of what it's looking like.
No worries, Paul.
There's so much to see in the Philippines and we might dash to some other nearby places, but who knows?
I don't think we need to. There's like...
Yeah.
Is there 15,000 islands in the Philippines? There's a lot to do there.
So much. Such a big area. But yeah, Japan 2024. Grace. Elena, I struggle with burnout myself, and ever since it happened to me, I've never felt 100% the way I did before. Do you think that's a good thing? Do you totally feel the way you did before burnout or not quite? And what's worked the best to help you avoid it coming back? I'm sorry you're experiencing burnout, and I do think it was a good thing. I think I've said that already so much. And I don't feel the way I did before burnout. I feel better. I feel so much better. It was like a release. It was like a cathartic release I didn't know I needed.
Yeah,
so I think
it also helped us go from, I'd been pushing to go from 4 videos a month to 2. And that was like one thing where I was like, can we please do it now? Because we've got 2 kids. We're like, yeah.
This industry.
So that's been great.
Yeah. I'm sure it's the same in a lot of other different job positions, but they're alright. We're so protective of her boy. We're like, don't you come here.
Oh, they're too close.
This industry we're in, and I'm sure it's the same in a lot of others, but like the more you work, the more you get paid, right? So I couldn't imagine dropping back with videos because that just seemed totally crazy. And I was like, I can do this, let's do it. But yeah, it nearly killed me in the end. But yeah, I finally agreed to the 2 videos a month thing. Sometimes 3, we're still sometimes getting 3 out there. But that changed a lot. So I think let it go, let your little support network ask for help. Like, just have a bit of a breather. Don't look at your phone for a month. Read books, and just focus on your health if you can, if you have that privilege. But otherwise, find little moments of peace in your day, whether it's like headspace, trying to eat right. There's things you can control even if you have to keep working. Exercise, yeah, just learning to breathe, just stop drinking coffee, just calm your nervous system. Your body just needs a rest. You need to switch your brain off where you can and just rest.
Practice acknowledging those repetitive negative thought patterns and like stop them in their tracks. I think meditation is like the thing there.
Yeah.
To stop it, but to just generally feel better. There's a bunch of things that everyone should be doing, which is like exercise, meditate. What's the other thing?
Eating right, nutrition, lifting weights. Started lifting weights, and that's been a game changer.
Is there something else that's off here? Like, which leads to sleeping well.
Sleep. Yeah, all the things you know. Just try and do as many of those as you can, given your situation.
Yeah.
What are the plans? This one's from Ben. What are the plans for when the boys are older and will need their own rooms / space, etc.? Well, at the moment, Riley, unfortunately, is having to sleep in the saloon with baby Darwin because he's still so small. I know, we're so upset. We want to sleep together in our bed.
I fight Darwin every night.
And me and Lenny sleep.
I wrestle the brute.
In the main cabin, and then Forrest is in the guest cabin. So at the moment, when we get an extra crew member, probably a girl, they're gonna have to sleep in Forrest's bed. It's a king bed, so I'm gonna say to Forrest,
things could be worse for the ladies.
Yeah, seriously.
Things could be worse.
So yeah, our 2 crew are gonna have to, they have the option bunk up or sleep in the cockpit, or on the floor here in the saloon.
John Hall, message retracted. Good grief, what were you writing? I'd love to jump in with Forrest.
And when Darwin gets a bit bigger, him and Lenny will be able to sleep by themselves here in the cockpit, here in the saloon, and me and Riley can have our cabin. And then when they get even older, the crew we have will be replaced by Lenny and Darwin, and they'll have the guest cabin, or one can sleep in the saloon.
Either shape up and get with the program, son, or get off the boat. Not enough beds. Sleep in the Amma.
Yeah, there's the option to sleep in the Amma, but it's bloody too hot here in the tropics to sleep in there right now.
Our lives change pretty quickly. I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years' time. I guess it won't be that long until they're older.
Why is the steering wheel so huge, says Tracy. That's a bloody good question. Why is our wheel so damn big? I mean, it looks sick, but like...
leverage. So when you're helming, there's a lot of forces on this one. I'm sure that's going to be it. So a larger wheel provides greater leverage. We also, because we're going so fast, we don't need to turn it that far. So there's a couple of reasons why that works.
Okay.
Thanks, Robert.
This one's from...
Sometimes I interrupt Elena. I need to try and see, because...
I'm the queen of interrupting.
Okay, well, people sometimes say that I do, so...
Oh, that's nice, because I feel like I'm always the culprit. This one's from Sydney. What do you 2 fight the most about that we don't get to see? Relationships are constant work and need to be nourished. What do you guys do to choose each other every day and make one another a priority. The grass isn't greener on the other side. You two are so great together, and Lenny and Darwin are so lucky to have two loving parents. I hope you always hold on to that importance. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I try to remind Elena how great I am every morning. I just make sure that she's aware of the fact, she understands that, because I need her to go into every day just having that first and foremost in her mind.
We wake up, you know, some things we try and do throughout the day is we wake up every morning and we kiss each other and tell each other we love each other, and then we won't go to bed without saying goodnight and doing the same thing, and doing that, I guess, throughout the day too.
Elena can't say sorry, so I've taken it upon myself to...
I used to be worse at that.
And I need to...
It's always his fault.
Constantly finish the argument. Like, I'm like, okay, we'll wrap this up. I'm sorry.
But what we fight about the most, which was your question, is...
can we dig into that a little bit deeper?
Is high stress situations, which we're so much better about now, but it's like having to make a decision sometimes, because we're both so like dominant and like we're both very confident, that that's something we've always clashed on. Like, I think I know the best answer and he thinks he does, and I guess maybe that's been great in the end because we're both like strong minded, but
well, that's
what we clash about. And then one of us has to be like, okay, we'll do what you said. But that's that. We've butted heads about that, whether it's a camera setting or like, yeah, what we're going to film that day or how we film it. And then with the sailing's probably the sailing can be difficult sometimes because Riley always does know more about something, but then I spot hazards. I'm really good at spotting hazards, hey?
If I've been outside sailing for 12 hours and Elena comes out and goes, there's a cloud over there, I'm just like, oh, don't you even stop.
Hey, sometimes, you know, I save us. But, yeah.
No, of course you do.
Yeah, it's probably that we fight about, but it's not a fight, it's just tension. But we've gotten better at stopping it, because life's too short. Life is too short to be arguing, especially in such a small space. It's gotten better over time, which is, I'm giving you hope. It gets better if it doesn't fizzle out in the beginning.
It's been really great to see Elena. When she first came on board, she was just a little hippie girl, and she, you know,
had never worked hard in my life.
No, she hadn't
literally.
done anything.
I just wanted to travel and have fun, and I got by with like
but she
no
was a
money.
legend. Like, she was absolutely amazing. There was a beautiful little spark about her, and it's been fantastic for me watching her grow into this like overachieving, this successful, unbelievably hardworking. She doesn't have to do this as much anymore because her work has sort of shifted into more filming and being more creative. But when it was necessary years ago, she would just put her head down and edit for like 10 hours. But like the head would I would slide over a plate of food and I'm like, you know, eat, now back to work. But like, she has this insane focus and work ethic that is just, you don't get that if you grow up with rich parents, I don't think. Like,
I had to make something of myself.
And
I had to.
I think that is one of the most underrated personality traits that anyone could have, and I desperately hope that the kids get that from Elena. If they don't see her with her head down on a computer for 10 hours straight, I hope that they don't often see that, but I would certainly remind them that their mum can and has done that, and that's unique and very powerful.
Yeah, thanks, babe. That's very nice. We've got 5 more minutes, guys. So this one's from Sailability, Auckland. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, wow.
Having been to Japan, I'm looking forward to you heading there. I understand there are some challenges in this area. What do you see as being the biggest issue of cruising Japan?
Typhoons.
The bloody typhoons that roll in.
No, bloody typhoons.
Those bloody
Oh, I gotta watch out for them.
I'm so annoyed. Like, I wish we could stay there for so long, but yeah, that is a concern. It's just the typhoon season. We don't know if we'll stay. We've heard of some sailors that stay during that time, but this is a very expensive boat, and we don't want it to obviously end up washed ashore. So we'll see. But
it's quite challenging because we have to go from the Philippines and beat into the wind, into the prevailing winds to Japan, and you need to do that. November, December is the end of the typhoon season. So later on in the season, so here's Japan. Later on in the season, the typhoons go straight and they're bigger and more powerful, like right now. So occasionally they'll hit as low as Palawan and then go into Vietnam. This is Vietnam. That's Vietnam. This is the Philippines, and this is Japan. So we need to beat into the wind to get up to Japan, but then we can only be there for 6 months, and then we either sail from Japan over to Hawaii. So Hawaii would be like that fruit net that just fell over.
way over there.
And then come back, or sail with the wind back down to the Philippines. But right when we'd have to leave early to go with the wind, because later on it actually goes that way. So we'd like beat into it and then beat into it again. So it's pretty difficult to get to. And Elena hadn't thought about any of this before. She was like, I want to go to Japan. And so now we have to figure out how...
Just like when I first met Riley back in 2014, and he just wanted to stay in the Med, and I was like, I want to go to the Caribbean. I want to drink out of coconuts.
And I'm like, there's an Atlantic in between us and that.
You literally, he picked up the book of Jimmy Cornell. Well, what's it called? We've got the
World
book right
Cruising.
here. It's still one of the best books. Is it this one? The World Voyage.
Passage Plan. I think he's got a different one.
This
but
is a
it's
good
like
one.
similar to that.
But he was like, literally that night, I just saw him go, and he pulled out the book and he started looking about how to cross the Atlantic and what season, and it just so happened to be coming up. So you did it, babe.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting me to the Caribbean that year. That was good fun.
No worries. I'd love to accept more compliments from you. But Jeff and Tiff are asking, what is your top speed so far with the new boat?
What was it?
An unconfirmed 25 knots, but it really didn't feel like that. And what I really, really need people to understand is that top speeds are fun, but it's just not, that's not the thing that you want. You want good average crossing times, easy miles. So you want to have 2 reefs in the main and the head sail out, and then when a squall comes, you can put the head sail away and be going dead downwind at 17 knots, knowing that you're safe if it blows even up to 60. That's what you want. So you want to be able to go fast with less sail up. So top speeds are fun, but average crossing times or average miles per day on a crossing are just so much more important.
Last question was from Gary. Are you taking Melly as crew? So Melly is from Indonesia, and the kids just adore her. Like, it's ridiculous.
They're very lucky to have such a wonderful woman hanging around.
Yeah, and she gets really seasick, which makes things hard for us. She's also really camera shy. Like, every time, I think because English isn't her first language, she doesn't really want to speak, which is fair enough. I mean, I've started to learn Bahasa Indonesia, and I'm not particularly good, and I wouldn't want someone filming me and expecting me to speak in Indonesian. Like, not a chance. So I think at this stage, Melly might come and visit us every now and then on our sails, and
Be good for the kids.
yeah, be good for the kids. We can probably get some work done, and I think we will probably get crew for some of the bigger sails. That's kind of the best plan we have at the moment. But yeah, Melly's always going to be around because we just adore her, off and on. That's the plan. But yeah, sadly, she just gets violently seasick. So when we were in Lombok and the monkey attack happened, we just put that video live, and we had the Australian news channels calling us up, like, we had a bunch of news shows we had to do at like 4 a.m. in the morning, and Melly had to come out to our boat on anchor just to watch the kids for the morning. And by the time we'd finished the news shows, which was, 4 a.m. till 6 a.m. on shore, we came back to the boat and Melly was like green and she's like, ma'am, I have to get off this boat. And we're like,
she
oh
calls
my God.
Elena ma'am and she calls me sir. It's like...
It's so cute.
Yeah.
But anyway, she gets super seasick, so we're not going to put that on her. And she is the best.
She really is. She's a great person. If there are any dudes out there, does she want someone that's Muslim?
Oh yeah, Melly's single. I don't know if she would prefer Muslim. Probably.
I think
probably
her
make
family,
her life easier.
It would make her life easier if someone was...
Yeah, Melly's single, everyone, and she is the best.
Yep.
You probably wouldn't see her much because she's with us. Anyway,
you could do worse.
Yeah, you definitely could. We're going to wrap this up because I actually have a meeting in 4 minutes and then I want to go see my children.
What's your meeting?
We have a meeting about a visa thing at 11.
Yeah, okay.
But love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and hope you had fun. And we'll see you guys next time. I will put that video of a little boat tour once I clean up the house today.
Good to speak to y'all.
See you guys. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you.